3. Only 3 dots. Not bad. Okay. Second part of the template. Now, anybody take trash out?
Huh?
I said, no, you can take, no, trash didn't go out, I guess. I'm gonna get trash and do it in the morning. So, don't worry about it.
You sure?
Yep. One. That's it. 1 dot. Okay. Good, good, good. And then the scraping. I don't like that part. Okay, so I want this to be a 3-tier, 3-layer, 3-color design. 3-color design: red, yellow, green, and crystal. So let's see what we got here. There's some light cyan. And I'm just going to lay this across. I'm just going to angle this like it was in my picture. And just brush in. And I'm just going to eye this. Just no rhyme or reason to how I'm brushing in these red stones and let's do that.
deal.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, kind of based on my picture, I think I want to do a more, again, a triangular. So I'm going to just pick these little stones out over here so I can, yeah. And I'm going to take that out there and take that one out there. Okay. So I did that. I'm going to go find my Yellowstone citrine is what I'm going to use. But let me first put citrine. Let me go find my citrine. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So this is my citrine, and I'm going to use the fern green for the bottom. So now this will be the tricky part. So I'm going to just put those stones because I want them to go right in there. And this will be the tricky part because I'm not taping off the section of the template that I don't want the stones to go into the holes. So I have to be careful as I brush this in. If you're a beginner, then I would probably highly suggest using some painter's tape. Oh, lost a redstone there. Okay. But if you're a beginner, like I said, I would probably highly suggest using some painter's tape if you wanted to do a tricolor design, so that you can tape off the areas of the template where you don't want the stones to show up. Excuse me, you don't want the stones to fill in that portion of the template. Then taping off those areas would be a lot easier than what I'm currently doing, which is to kind of just not brush the stones in the area where I don't want them to go. But that takes a lot of patience and time, which you get better at the more you do this. So Right now, I'm trying to carefully brush the yellow stones out of the way without removing too many of the red stones that I've already brushed in. So I already can see in some areas where I've got some stones that I'm going to have to fill back in, but it's not too bad. Not too bad. And you want to be careful when you do this because we don't necessarily want to end up with too many of a different color stone mixed in with our primary color stones. So you just see me right here just looking to see if I happen to see any of the red stones that have moved or I brushed them accidentally out of place so that I can put them back. So again, here, see. And forgive me, like I said, this video is a little disjointed. It's about 1 a.m., 12, somewhere almost close to 1 a.m. And it's been a long day. I am tired, still a little jet lagged, I guess, or time zone difference challenged after being in Arizona for a couple of days last week and the early part of this week. So just trying to get myself reacclimated and back into the swing of things. So I appreciate you following along with me and just giving me a little bit of leeway in this video. So let me see about finding myself a pair of tweezers or a wax pencil so that I can go ahead and pick up these stones a lot faster. Let's see. Okay, as luck would have it, things are never where you want them to be when you need them. And I am the worst for not putting things back in place when I finish with them. And so, right now, aha, wait a minute. Yay, I found my wax pencil. Okay, so now I can make much quicker work of this. I'm going to just pick out the stones that don't belong. If you don't have a wax pencil tool, I highly suggest you invest in one. It really does make this type of manual placement of the stones go a whole lot faster. Is this a red stone? Yes, it is. I like this particular type one because it has the interchangeable tip. So when this wax tip wears off, I believe it is one of those. Well, I thought it was one of those. It's supposed to be one of those. Oh, there it is. Okay. I like this one because this is one of those ones that you can just replace the wax tip. It's got a screw on. So you just screw on the replacement and you keep it moving. And this other pointy side of the tip, I think this is for people who probably do hard surface type rhinestoning, and for them to move and position the stones as they set them with the glue. It's also good for, knocking a stone out of place if you have to, on your flock template as well. So I'm gonna, something wrong with that stone. So we're going to pick up a stone. Let's see. Okay. Oh, missing one red one here, so I'll have to go get a red stone. Put this yellow one in there. And I know I saw that stone, but I'm not going to spend too much time sifting around in here trying to find it. We'll just go and grab a stone. Fill that in right there. And fill in a stone right there. And I'm going to put two right here. Okay, that's a decent triangular line that I was trying to achieve. So I think I'm happy with that. So I will brush these and put these back into their container. And don't be like me. Most people usually work off of a knife. Oh, there's that little redstone. Huh. And there we go. Probably work off of a tray of some sort, and that helps to kind of keep their stones where they want them. I typically just work off of my dining room table, and I just use my brush and brush the stones when I'm done with them off to the side. And then I just use my trusty funnel and I just brush them back into the container. All right, last up is the green. Again, like I said, I'm using this fern green. And just gonna pour out some stones and brush. Brush. Okay. Accidentally brushed two stones out of place, so I'll go ahead and put those back. And somehow okay, almost done. And that's looking quite pretty. There we go. Okay, I hope you can see that. Try to get a little closer. So I was not too bad at all. Let's see here. See, I'm missing a stone right here, so I'll just go ahead and put a little green stone in there. If I put the green stone in there, does that look off? I think it does. So I'm gonna take this little yellow stone out and just put a green stone in its place. Oh, I can do a swapperoo right here because I think this should be green, this should be yellow, and this should be green. Oh, well, I'll just make it yellow. Okay. All right. Oops, I've got one more stone right there. It's another. I think I'll take this one out and also make it green just because. Just because I can. All right. So there's the bottom scatter layer all done. I'm gonna cut me a piece of transfer tape so I can go ahead and lift this. Okay, so here's your transfer tape. I'm gonna peel it from its backing. And I like to kind of fold it like this, U-shape, and commit. Okay, and I'm just going to lightly rub it, make sure that those stones adhere. And then we're going to pull it up ever so gently. And one of the things I like to do is turn my templates over on the back side before I take them to the heat press to press them, because sometimes some of your stones don't always have glue on the back of them, and I think that that's just a manufacturing issue. I don't think it denotes that the quality of the stones. It's just that there are over 70,000 stones in a bag, and every once in a while you're going to have one or two or a couple that the glue just is just not on there. So as you can see, here's one where the glue is, there's some glue on there, but it's not enough to my liking. And so I'm going to go ahead and remove that stone. And here's one more down here at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and normally now this is where I need my tweezers, but I don't see a pair readily on this table. Oh, I got something I can use. There's a pair right here. Okay, so what I do is I just go ahead and take my tweezers and take that stone out of place. It was a yellow one. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab another yellow one. And then I'm going to reposition that stone back in that spot. Okay, and then the other one was down here at the bottom. And oops, that one is a green one. So I'll just grab another green stone and position it back in that spot. Okay, just gonna look at this, look at the back of this transfer, make sure my stones all look good, and I'm happy with that. So with that being said, I don't have my heat press set up just yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn this over and put it back on its transfer sheet backing, like so. Oh, that is my bottom layer, 3 colors. Easy peasy. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is going to stone the inside lettering. And I'm going to use crystal. I'm going to use crystal. Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and use crystal. I have some crystal stones already here. My crystal stones. And I'm just going to go ahead and pour out a nice, healthy, generous set of stones and go ahead and brush those in. Brush, 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 brush. See, I'm using my Specialty Designs NC rhinestone brush. It's really gotta be happy for the small things. And sometimes, we don't spend a whole lot of time trying to make sure that all of these stones fall into the holes. You can spend more time trying to do that than it takes to just use your wax pencil or pen and manually put those stones where they belong. You should not be afraid of brushing in stones, because you really can't mess it up. At least this part. It's just patience and having a template where the hole sizes are sized properly for your rhinestones so that they fall in as they should when you brush them in. If you have a hard time brushing in your stones, chances are your hole size is not the right hole size for the rhinestones that you are using. And this happens because different manufacturers may make the base either slightly larger or smaller within that 2.6, I believe, or 2.8 millimeter circumference. So even though that is very nominal, it can make a difference depending on the template design and what size hole the designer used when making their template. So that's I Am Black History. And so again, we've got a few stones that need to be manually placed. So I'm just going to use my pick tool here, my wax pencil, excuse me, and fill in those missing stones. And I told a little white lie a little while ago. I said that it was about 1 a.m. But when I went into the kitchen to look for something, I looked at the clock, and the clock said it was actually almost 1:30. So I am going to not press this shirt tonight, but we'll come back and do it in the morning or sometime tomorrow during the day. But for now, I can just show you how I brushed in the stones for this particular template. Okay, that looks good. Okay, all my stones are brushed in. I'm going to go ahead and clean up my little area here. Again, brush my stones. Put the stones back in the cup. And there we are. You see, I Am Black History. Oh. So again, I'm going, oops, darn it. Oh, that's what happens when you're not paying attention. I accidentally hit my template with that transfer paper and knocked some stones out of place. Okay. Let's just see if we can make quick work of that. All right, let's try this again. And again, this is why they say you shouldn't do work when you're tired, because more often than not, you make more mistakes than you would if you were not tired. And one more. And one more. Okay. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't have to use a second piece of transfer tape, because you can use your transfer tape as reusable until it's not. But since I'm not ready to actually press these stones just yet, I have to use 2 pieces of transfer tape in order to just lift them off of the template. Okay, here we go again. And again, I like to kind of just, like I said, fold it here in the middle, bring it down ever so gently, and commit. Lightly rub my hand over these stones, make sure that they're sticking to the transfer paper, and we're going to lift. And the reason this is happening is because this piece of transfer paper is actually larger than necessary, and so parts of the transfer paper are sticking to my table, which and to this too much of the plastic mat, so it makes it a little harder to get it up, but we're getting there. All right, again, I'm going to turn it over on its back side so I can look at the back of the stones. I also see where I actually moved some of them out of place as I was lifting it off of the template. So we'll just go ahead and reposition that stone. Use the tweezer. And there's a stone missing right there, but I don't see where it got off to. Okay. Well, while I'm at it, I see this stone right here. I'm going to go ahead and replace it. It's not horrible, and it does probably have enough glue on the back, but I'd much rather be safe than sorry. So I'm going to go ahead again, and I'm just going to go ahead and replace it. Now I just have to remember where I pulled that stone from. That's the part that I hate happens when I pull a stone and I don't remember exactly. Oh, there it is in the T. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Okay. And if you can't get it, if you remove a stone and you can't quite get it right back in line on the back side of this transfer like I'm doing now, don't despair. All you have to do is when you go to press it, when it's turned over on the, so that the stones are facing up, just slightly nudge that stone into place with your finger nail. You can make all kinds of edits to your transfer before you actually press it. So, okay, I think I'm satisfied with that. So we'll go ahead and we'll put the back side of the, put the transfer tape back on, the backing back on. Give it a quick little rub. I didn't quite line it up, but that's okay. And this one is ready to be stoned tomorrow. All right, well, thank you for hanging out with me, and I will show you the rest of the stoning, the process tomorrow. Good night.